You're listening to 182.3, Care What People Think.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Care What People Think podcast. My name is Ryan. What's your name, Will?
Nice. Bro does this every time since like the last year. He goes, hey, co-host, what's your name? Co-host, speak.
Dude, it's never going to die. Let's be so for real. Either way, my name's Ryan. This week's episode is very, 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 touching for me at least. The reason I say that, I'll tell you a little bit about my highlight and low light of the week, and it actually relates perfectly with the episode today. Before that, we're going to be talking about that heavy feeling of being in your 20s where every decision suddenly feels like it defines your whole future. I mean, I'm feeling it. Will's probably feeling it. Moving away from your hometown, signing a lease, picking a job, choosing the relationship. Paris, don't kill me. Grace, don't kill me. That is what it is. That's adulthood. That's what it is. And on top of that, the people that you're with obviously fade in and out. Hopefully you have that tight group, but it is a lot of pressure and it's hard to not blame yourself for a lot of that stuff. We're going to talk a lot about this today. And hopefully you're not left questioning at the end of it. That being said, I do want to talk about my low light and highlight of the week. And what I mean by that is I had my lease renewal in the mail and I went, oh, holy shit. It's been 10 months almost. Well, not really. It's been 8 months and I had a 10-month lease.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I guess I needed to renew my lease in the next week. And they did that by mail. I wasn't like behind. Clap. I don't know why you're. Oh,
did you sign it?
No.
Did you sign it?
I didn't. Actually, we don't know. Keep your hands up for the audience.
Okay.
Bro's gonna lose blood in his hands.
Audio
I want to see how long he does this for.
My hands are up. Okay, go.
They're gonna be up this long. Okay. Anyway, I got my lease renewal in the mail. I looked over it and I low key freaked the fuck out because. Bro's hands are up. Just put them down at this point. I just feel bad for you. Put them down.
Wait, no, keep going.
Because I didn't know if I wanted to be in Charlotte for another year. And I know that sounds crazy because I just moved here. It was like everything hit me at once. I was like somewhat being dramatic about a decision that should not be that much of a decision. Like it's adulthood, right? It's a big decision in my eyes that'll affect the next year or so of my life. And so I put the paper on the fucking table and I just looked, I went, okay, I could either do 10 months, I could do up to 15 months. It varies a little bit in price. But then I just decided, well, as of tomorrow, technically, I will be re-signing.
Yeah. Nice. There we go.
And I'm very happy about it. I feel at peace. I obviously overthought it in a way, but it was a huge decision. But it made me think a lot about just like outside of the apartment. There's just so many things that take these tough decisions, right? I had an uh-oh moment and I said, am I really staying here for another year? Is this what my life is going to be? Am I going to be at this job? And it was just like my whole, like right before you die, people tell you that you just have this like record on loop of like all your highlights of life.
Yeah, Ryan
is anything? No, but for real though, like that joke's dead.
Yeah, yep.
It wasn't even a joke. It's actually like those highlights of life right before you pass away. Is anything in the next year going to be a part of that? Am I making a mistake by doing that? And I know these are stupid questions, but like those are things that are going through my head. And either way, I feel very much at peace. I'm happy with my decision. I love Charlotte. I love the weather here, especially.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. It's a weird, it feels like a train is coming and you don't realize, oh shit, wait, I get on this train. And then you only have a couple minutes to make the decision. Cause when I got my lease renewed, my thing worked. My landlord was like, oh, they sent like a month early where they're like, you have to tell us in a month in advance. And if you don't, like, if you're going to move out and if you don't, then we are assuming you're staying. And so I didn't even sign a paper, like paper as in physical. I literally did like an online signature thing. And then I think I did that the second time. So yeah. And then it was good to go. And it wasn't the first time I re-signed.
Mine's 2 month ahead of time, 60 days.
Okay.
And
Oh
instead,
wow.
yeah, I think it's just because it's like, not saying yours isn't as nice, but a very nice apartment
No,
complex, and
it's
they
not.
want to really like have those renewals, uh, and make the place nice before you leave. But it's true. Like if I
Interesting.
didn't like show up for my meeting and if I didn't say anything, then they're just going to charge me month to month. So I don't want to be in that situation either.
Yeah, no, that it's definitely it's weird though because I don't know about you, but it sounded similar. Like I signed the for lease the first time I moved in, and then I was like, I'll figure it out later. I'll probably be moving out because I'll probably be making more money. I'll probably have a different job, whatever. And then the lease comes back, and you're like, the fuck? I
Yeah.
didn't do it. I'm here still. The fuck happened? So no, that's definitely that's a huge decision.
But the other
Yeah.
side of that is like, damn. Well, at least I was paying my payments enough to make it a year. Fuck, I could have been at home.
Yeah.
I could have went downhill. But
Yeah. Um so getting in today's topic of not every I'm reading my notes backwards. Why every
not every, bro.
decision feels so final. Um I would like to say I can't start the episode with that with like it's the influence of social media and everything feels finalized
It's
because
true,
everything's
though.
so
Just go
quick.
ahead,
But
dude.
it kind of is. However, to go against that, not everything is always final, and I will give a clear example. This is kind of a bit unrelated, but it's funny. My brother was getting me a gift for Christmas, and he went and saw this shirt and went, "Hey, Will likes this person. I'm gonna buy him a shirt." And he called me and he told me about it actually, because then he went, "Hey, it's gonna get delivered after Christmas." It got delayed. He bought it. Actually, before that, he bought this shirt. It shipped to him. He opened it. This man bought the wrong shirt. He bought the shirt of the wrong person that I like. I will explain. He went, "Oh, I bought you a Sabrina Carpenter shirt because she has a lot of great songs. I know you like her because she has good music." And I'm like, "Okay, thanks." This fucking guy bought a shirt with Sydney Sweeney on it.
Brother.
Wrong blonde girl
Yo.
with an S as the first letter. Do you know what the shirt was too? This is the gag. First of all, the Sydney Sweeney shirt is like her with like her tits out, basically, where it's like a crazy like upper angle shot. Do you know what shirt? You know what shirt he was trying to get me?
Was it like that album cover? No. Wait, that one's crazy too. That one's crazy too. Yo, her booty's out. That's funny. That's funny.
And it's off-brand Gildan whack print, and I got it in March because the one he
Damn.
meant to get me was Sydney.
I knew
and that
you
came
liked
before
Sabrina
it was-
Carpenter, but I thought that was more Paris.
No, that's why when I got this, I was like, "Paris, do you want this shirt?" Because like I thought it was a bit random too. The key takeaway is even though you can make a plan B in dire situations, and not everything's permanent. But it takes some
Also, it's a
creativity.
good story sometimes. It's a great story sometimes.
True.
As long as you take it that
Facts.
way. Because like if you take life too
Yeah.
serious and you're like, God damn it, I didn't mean to, I'm so embarrassed, then it would be like, okay, dude, it's not that big of a deal. But
Mhm.
again, if you do everything perfect as well, I think there's much of a handicap because then, like, for example, you order a wrong shirt and it's the fucking end of the world. If you're
Yeah.
making mistakes once in a while, not every fucking day, every fucking second, but it obviously means that you are trying things, and I don't know. I think that builds character. So
No, true.
that's
I had
hilarious,
to show
though.
that.
If you need somebody to buy a Sydney Sweeney shirt, just let me know. Or sorry, just I have a friend that would buy it. Just let me know. So just fucking crazy. You have a point,
guess-
though. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I had more of a real point. I did okay, you know what, I'll just start with, again, that was kind of a bit off, but one thing that I did want to lean into is I feel like a lot of decisions feel final, coming from a judgment perspective, and I feel like that happens a lot in your 20s, mainly because a year ago when I got my job, bro, I literally was fucking Oprah handing out judgments like it was fucking nobody's business. Someone would literally be late to some shit, and I'd be like, "Damn, they don't care about anyone about
Did
like,
you
where
say
they're
it out
showing
loud?
up." No, I would not do that. But like I was
Okay.
finding, but it's crazy being in your 20s out of college and having a job. It's the first time you start kind of realizing and seeing the betrayal kind of like you learn that you were raised a specific way that's not right or wrong. You just were raised differently than literally everyone else. And so I like working. I value work. I work outside of my job because I have a lifestyle I want to try and achieve. And so when I got my job, people would show up late and I'm like, damn, they don't respect anyone. They don't respect the boss, they don't respect the company, they don't respect anyone here. They shouldn't even be here. People
And
get
then
into
you
my job, they
realize
don't talk.
they're the smart
I'm like,
people.
yes. Yes. And then they come
Yeah.
into work and they're like, damn, they don't even talk to anyone. They must really not like anyone. That pisses me off. Like everything felt like I was on my last straw and it was weird. Or I'd be like, damn, people don't do anything outside of work. What the fuck's wrong with them? Their life's depressing. They should like quit. Why am I jumping to so many conclusions? It's so
Correct.
unnecessary. But I don't know. It was just a really random phase of like quick judgments, which is normal. I would say that's normal. Don't vocalize it. Don't walk up to people and be like, "You're weird. Go home."
Get
But
home and do something with your life, and make
Get
sure to
home.
wake up 10 minutes earlier. Yeah, but actually, I just want to relate because I think you were still going somewhere with that. I feel the exact same way. I walked in after a year of graduating college, traveling the world for a while, moving fucking states, not just one state over, 5 states over, to the point where I was in such a different headspace than these people working 8 to 5s. I walked in, I'm like, why are you not traveling every weekend? And why are
Yeah.
you not spending money on anything other than food? And then I'm like, holy shit, wait, they're actually just grown up and I'm
Bro just called them
a
poor.
little kid. Yeah,
Why
I
are
did
you
call them
spending
poor.
money?
Yeah, literally
I
though.
know.
But then I'm like, wait a second. I've been living with my family. That's how I have money. That's why. You guys actually have lives and or kids or families or whatever the hell, and it makes more sense. You have obligations. I'm very free. I was single when I moved here, and it just really put into perspective like how fortunate I was to start. But then again, I was very quick to judge, and I was like, I wasn't raised to judge. That's the thing too, is like you weren't
It's
like,
weird.
that's not in your personality for the most part until somebody is so different than you that you're like, what, they're doing it wrong. And I'm not gonna out
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
facts.
out our I mean, should we do this? Because personally, my girlfriend, your girlfriend, I'm just gonna say it. They have
Man's
different aspects. Okay, we've talked about this, and this is nothing against them. We're not judging them. I'm
Man's
sorry.
gonna say
I'm-
his girlfriend lives life wrong. Man's gonna say
No,
his girlfriend
no,
lives-
girls on average as well tend to spend more on shopping and probably eating out. I don't know about the eating out part, but I don't know. Will and I have grown up in a smaller town, smaller than most, and
Yeah.
we are very much cook at home type of guys, eat healthy, wear
Minimalistic.
shirts that we had from kindergarten until we're 30 type
Yeah.
of people. Will, except for that Sabrina Carpenter shirt. You
We're
just
just
bought that. But tell me I'm wrong.
No, it was funny because Ryan and I grew up in very different parts of the town. It's weird to call Fort Collins a town, but we're not city kids. And so I think there's less stuff in our face. And so also Ryan just he didn't grow up liking social media compared to like me. And so I think it is definitely very different to see the dynamic of like us literally being content with shoes that are falling apart. Like I don't have it in this room. My Crocs, first of all, they're not even Crocs. My slides broke, so I got $9.
The Temu slides.
No, they're the golf foam shoes, and they look
That's
dumb.
sick.
But
From
they're
what,
$9.
2008?
No, they're like last year or something. But they were
okay.
$9 at Burlington, and those are my new shoes. They have a hole in the bottom. My foot physically touches the ground when I wear them now. Do I get new ones? No, I don't. Why am I? What am I doing? I didn't even buy them. Paris bought them for $9. That's less than a fucking Happy Meal. Like
It's because they
I don't
work
know what-
somewhat enough that you don't want to change it.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, I want to say
Somewhat
that I want to tell a story as well because I had a hole in my shoe and I wasn't just walking the streets of LA. It was actually somehow worse, which there's only like 3 things that are worse than that. And it is a restaurant. Your boy had a hole in the bottom of his shoe, his non-slip shoe in a restaurant. And I'm not talking any restaurant. I'm talking Texas Roadhouse, where people throw fucking butter and rolls and steak and probably just little kids spit and pee everywhere. Your boy went 2 months with a hole at the bottom of his shoe. And okay, not to like out Texas Roadhouse. You go to the back to the mucking station, there's water everywhere. Everywhere on the ground, in the fucking air, in your hair, dude, everything. And your boy was just stepping in full on puddles. So yeah, I was kind of blissfully ignorant about the fact that they were $40 and I didn't want to change it up. And it took me 2 months. So
I mean, that's 40. Yeah. $40 is at least more of it. I could argue that, but no,
it was
the
more
the
because
difference.
I wanted to leave, and I was just like, it's a reason for me. Let me live out these shoes, and I never have to go back to work.
That's fair.
I quit when these shoes fail me.
But no, that is definitely like the difference in. I just noticed that it's really like behavior with. I just you learn from the judgments you make that it is you learn kind of what your core is. Like I have high value for people that work hard, and so when I go and I experience new people in my life that do not work because they literally don't want to, my immediate reaction at the time was, yeah, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Because in my head, the goal should be you get to live a stress-free lifestyle. The way that I see getting to that is the main stressor in life being finances. I want to not have to worry about money. That's that's incredible, crazy, high-end goal to get to. So I look at it as like, okay, I want to. I mean, it is also insanely lucky. I'm so lucky that like my hobby and passion is financially potential or has a lot of potential. Like, bro, if my fucking dream job was to be a magician,
that's still because fire though. Because
you can't
the
market for magicians
is the market for magicians is just low. Let's be honest. People are hiring magicians everywhere, bro. People are looking at YouTubers oversaturated, dude. Magicians are where it's at. Fucking pull that cat out of the hat. Fucking whatever, dude.
Did I tell you I used to be into magic as a kid? Like I made magic YouTube videos. I'm not
gonna lie, you didn't even have to tell me that. I can just look at you, dude. Let's be so for real, bro.
Like, bro, dude, I did that. Me and Paris stayed up for 24 hours and I went with her to her shift at 24-hour fitness 2-3 years ago. She was like, there was a deck of cards. She went, oh, do you know magic trick? And I literally went, I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. I started magic when I was 12. And I did a fucking card trick and she was fucking impressed. And I already had her number at the time, but it didn't matter because I impressed someone.
Bro smashed after that. Nice, dude.
I fell asleep, set up for 25 hours.
You want to hear the R-rated version of that, the real version?
The Ryan version?
Will said, when I snap, your pants will fall to the ground. Boom! And then they just fucking flew off. And then, yeah, that was it, dude. And that was the first time you ever met, right? I was there. I didn't look, but I saw the clothes flying.
Oh, so.
Yeah, Will the Magician, dude. Let's go. Let's go.
But you know what I mean? Like, the finances is like, I don't really know where the point started from, but there was a point there, I think.
Yes. You're scared to waste time though, and that's what Will's doing. He's wasting time.
Oh, yeah. I have a huge. I think that if you're not working to get to the goal of being able to live a stress-free life, but I have to realize that's by definition of stress-free. Some people may think stress-free is like I don't have to own a business. So their version is like I want to work for someone else my whole life because I don't have to go through the crazy struggle of doing a business. That is something that's not mine type of thing. So
the contrary though. The pressure to like have it all figured out. I think like for me, for example, I look at you and I'm like, damn, bro just wants to be a magician. Just kidding. Wants to be a YouTuber. And like, that just makes me feel like, holy shit, I need to get the ball rolling. And I'm not actually saying that, but like the comparison aspect is huge. And it's okay to like, not like take a step back, realize that the pressure is not necessarily on you. It's just like, take it day to day. You don't have to have it all figured out at once. Literally no one does, even though Will says, yeah, I'm going to become a YouTuber. Bro, I mean, like you're still working at it, but you're not where you want to be, right?
Yeah.
I would also say like, okay, I want to bring this back to like a different point, but I'm scared to waste time. And what I mean by that is I come back from work, which I work my ass off all day. I come back, do fucking groceries, cleaning, dishwasher, like fucking run the dishwasher, and literally working on editing this podcast. Maybe I drink a beer once in a while. Other than that, dude, I am scared to low key waste time. I feel like I fall behind like other people. I
Yeah.
feel like I pick wrong, or like I'm just not using my time wisely. And I don't know if that's a bad trait or not, but
I have the same
I
thing
I
where it's like
think
I have to be.
have to be like on your toes, right? But it's a lot of pressure, man. And I think another thing is just like changing your mind to feel like it's okay to relax. It's okay to know that you're going through a big change in either moving or your job or a relationship, and it's okay, like you're evolving, right?
Mm.
Another thing is there's no right path. I literally feel like trial and error is the biggest reason why I'm here in Charlotte today, why I'm literally have the friends I have in the relationship I'm in. I've had terrible exes. I've had terrible ex-friends. And there's a reason why I keep Will close. There's a reason why I keep all my other guy friends, family close. Like for even family, dude, if my family was not treating me right, dip. Or
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk to them as much. And I mean, that sounds fucked up, but like I'm talking on like abusive terms and like bad shit. Um,
Yeah.
but what I'm trying to say is try shit. Trial and error is what is going to make you better at something. I don't know, better at anything.
Yeah, and you also, well, the more you do trial and error and have that experience, it can make the decisions you have not feel so final. Because I really do feel that where it's like everything. I had a little metaphor when I was in my little magician phase, and I was like, because I like coming up with quotes, and I was like, they say the book of life, right? The life is a book. I have always viewed the book of life being actively written in pen. That's stressful
Checks
because
out.
that's
Yeah.
not how it fucking works. I mean, okay, in a way it is written in pen because you can't like we can't record this episode, snap our fingers, Ryan's pants drop, and then we fucking go back to the beginning of this episode and re-record the episode. But like but like that you
Well,
can't
you can edit
erase
it out.
anything.
So
but you can
technically
it's
it's
crossing
in pen,
it out.
but you cross it out.
Cross it out. Exactly. And shocker, I don't like writing shit in pen because I'm too worried I'm going to make a mistake or something and then I got to cross out and that looks gross. So I'd rather just write in pencil. So all through school, I always wrote in pencil. And that I just think is something that I had to learn. Like you can't fight the system of life. Life just happens to you. It's like kind of thinking you can outdo physics. Like, Ryan, do you think, oh, this is funny. Do you think you could land a plane if it required in the moment? If they were like, help, anybody, do you know how to land a plane? Do you think you'd land a plane?
I would not
Because there
be
was
the
a
first
poll.
guy to volunteer, but I genuinely think I could.
No, don't. Fuck. No, you can't.
I
no,
fucking
you can't.
can,
no.
bro. I fucking can.
This is like there's a study that I saw with this meme, and it was like 76% or whatever guys think they can land the plane. No.
No, you're wrong.
A plane.
You're wrong.
Not crash land. Not crash land. I mean land.
You never
no
said
people
that.
die or anything. Okay.
I actually
mean,
think
land.
I could land it, but I'm not like landing on my fucking wheels and shit. I'm landing in like a fucking river or something or a lake. I still don't think people would die, but I would land it.
Bro,
I think I could. I
water's
think I could slow
concrete.
down. I think I could slow down the plane. I genuinely think I could do that, and I think like you're underestimating just a normal human will.
This is Ryan. This is Ryan in the sky. Oh, I'm flying. Let me pull on the brakes. Oh, now I'm slowing down. Like,
Let me put on my fucking blinker. Just yeah. This is a yield sign.
Let me check my blind. Let me check my blind spot for that pigeon. Make sure I don't hit.
Oh
cut
fuck!
it off.
I'm going 80 and an 80 or 380 and an 85. Oh man, it's true. Actually, I don't really know. I know I could land in a fucking pond, but well, not a pond, like a lake. But I don't think I could fucking land with
That's
wheels.
funny.
Yeah.
No, there was another one too where it was like, do you think you could take a horse in a fight? No. What? They turn around and they literally yeet you out of the pen that you're fighting.
Depends. What do you have any weapons?
No. See, that's the thing. Humans are the most intellectual, advanced mammal,
Let me
whatever.
just
So
think
their
about it.
strength comes with tools. I'm saying like raw dog, just straight up human.
You think you would
Neanderthal.
get booted before you could snap a horse's neck?
Yes, dude.
Hell
a horse's
no.
neck is like this fucking wide.
Yeah,
What?
it is, bro. But fucking dead, dude. Fucking done, dude. Put it between my thighs, dude. Hell no. Nobody's
horse
beating
that-
these two big muscles.
The horse that you're thinking of fighting is that horse meme where it's split in 3 and it has like the detail drawn back. You're gonna get kicked,
pencil.
and then the front, yeah, you're just gonna go easy.
Yeah, you're true. You're so right. Like, actually, though, I mean, on a real, I'm probably fucking losing. It's like, what is it? 30?
That's funny.
No, how many men against a gorilla? That one too?
100. I don't know. That one's tough. I feel,
Dude, the guys are winning, Loki.
I don't know.
So for real. Anyway, what the fuck are we
Yeah.
talking about?
I actually had that wasn't totally off topic. There was a tie-in at the beginning of that thing that we were saying about being confident in your decision making, and then I gave you those hypotheticals. So that wasn't random, but did you have another point? I kind of only have mainly one smaller point left, but
I have a couple. You want to tie that in though, or that's just it?
that's
Fucking crash and burn. All right.
it.
Literally.
Ryan's playing. Yep.
Yeah. Into a lake. Nah, but like to go off that point a little bit, again, your 20s are for trying things. You feel like your parents now or whoever in your like later years of life are going to feel a little bit more decisive and final on their decisions. And I think that is completely natural. When you're a fucking toddler and you kick over your Tommy's little playset, you're not going to think you're a terrorist. And I mean, to Tommy's fucking side, you're not going to like take it as personal as if they were both 60 years old and they're like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, what I'm trying to say is the older you get, the more your decisions, I feel like, not necessarily matter, but they're more final and more thought through. Will, you're fucking laughing as if Tommy's blocks didn't fall.
Bro,
Dude.
what? I don't
That was a
get-
fire story.
What was the point you were making? You said Tommy was a terrorist and kicked over his playset, but it's
No,
okay
no,
because his decision
no.
wasn't final because he's
Okay.
a toddler.
Okay. Hear me out. Tommy, we'll call it Tommy and Mark. Tommy, well, this is scenario 1. Tommy and Mark are 6 years old each. They're in daycare, and Tommy is building a little block, like maybe 5 blocks high, and he's just playing with them, kind of like you play with Legos. Fucking Mark goes, hell no. Well, doesn't actually go. He goes, wah! And then go fucking kicks the shit. Tommy goes, what? He goes, no, I'm just kidding. He goes, what the fuck, Mark? That's what he does. Would you think either at 6 years old, scenario 1, or scenario 2, they're both in their 60s and the same scenario happens?
They're playing with a playset.
Yeah, I know. I'm
But
trying to
they're
think
in
of
an
a
old,
different.
they're in an old folks' home instead.
Yeah, they're at an old folks' home. Facts. And you're playing Jenga, and fucking Tommy is pulling out a little stick, out of the Jenga piece, and Mark goes, hell no, and just slams the table, and the Jenga pieces go everywhere. Who is gonna take that more personal, or who is gonna take that? Like, is that gonna be? How do I word this? Is Tommy the 6-year-old or Tommy the 60-year-old gonna be more mad and more vocal about it?
60-year-old.
60?
Yeah.
I agree.
What point? Where's
The point I'm getting
where's
at
the point?
is later on in life, I feel like the decisions you make, you're like evolving and you're getting older, so your decisions are more final. And you're like, what the fuck, Tommy? You're only 60, bro. It's like you're not senile. You have a head on your shoulder.
Oh.
Where if you're a 6-year-old, shit just flies and you're fine with whatever. You're not a terrorist.
Yeah, because you're more experienced.
Yeah.
That was a very
Fire.
interesting
Thank you.
metaphor.
I think
Yeah.
you loved it. So.
I did. If you were gonna listen to one thing throughout this episode, remember, every decision can feel final, but it's not always final. Something that definitely has helped me is obviously the saying "hope for the best, prepare for the worst." I would alter it a little. prepare for the worst, but do not expect the worst, because then your thinking is going to be kind of constantly negative. This happened a lot with me in college, where I'm so preemptive about making sure I'm always prepared and being efficient, like Ryan said, at all times, that I end up just expecting the worst result. And then it's was it a self-fulfilling prophecy? Because then I prepare for the worst and I expect it, and then the worst happens, and then it convinces me that, oh, I should just keep doing this. But no, it's not like that. So make sure to not always be so negative when you are making decisions, because even though they can seem final, everyone's figuring out their own path. There's not a right path. And remember, care what people think. We'll see you next week.
See you next week on 182.3.